Discover Card Countdown to Green. Brought to you by Discover Card. It pays to discover. And the Cat Rental Store, where you can rent cat equipment and a whole lot more.
If you build it, they will come. If you keep building, more will come. And that's what happened here at Bristol. They took out 37,000 seats on the backstretch so they could put in 47,000 seats. And at the very top, if all those fans were sitting there, you could see those seats are black. That's the new Earnhardt Terrace that was dedicated just a few minutes ago. Dale Earnhardt won 9 races at this track. Tonight's seating capacity, 164,001. Here's Dave Burns.
Well, you know, Bill, Bristol is a short track with a small infield, so here you've got to take the infield out. And I'm talking about camping. Thousands of campers all over the hills and valleys of this place for all these race fans, and even the drag strip has 3,500 campsites. And now they've all come inside, and they've joined me right here in the grandstand. Now, you know, 164,000, that's a lot of people. In fact, just down the road in Knoxville, University of Tennessee plays in a stadium that has only 104,000 seats. It's the 3rd largest college stadium in the country. Yankee Stadium, if they put 3 of their crowds in here, they might just fill it. And the largest NBA crowd ever when Michael Jordan was still playing, 62,000. So 164,000. I think we've got them beaten. The only way a guy like me can get a ticket tonight, because it's the hardest one in this Winston Cup racing to get, is I had to promise the guy I got it from that I'd give it back when this piece was over. So, Stanley, your seat. I'll just take my ball and go home. Bill?
I knew the bowling ball would get in here somewhere. The first time the Winston Cup Series raced here with 33 degrees of banking was in 1969. Wally Dallenbach was 6 back then. Some people think he still acts like he's 6. But climb behind a wheel in this car, and you grow up in a hurry. Here's Wally on the blur that is a lap at Bristol.
Welcome to my TNT Mountain Dew car. We're here at Bristol. This place is a short track, and I'll tell you what, it'll get your attention. You got to be right on the bottom of the racetrack. You stand on the gas. You slide up to the wall, go in as deep as you can, and check out this banking. Is this cool or what? 36 degrees. This place puts you in your seat and to the right. When you go down the corner right here, this banking throws you right down. Feels like you're going to go spitting out the bottom of the racetrack. One thing you always got to be aware here at Bristol, it's a self-clean racetrack. And what that means is, when the wreck happens up in front of you, you want to stay high. Because normally the racetrack gets clear because everything goes back down the hill. This place is exciting and it's fun to race, but I'll tell you what, it's a whole lot tougher when you got 42 other guys out here in traffic. I laugh at the guys that say race car drivers aren't athletes. Well, they've never tried driving a 3,500-pound race car around Bristol Motor Speedway 500 times.
Well, as Wally said, you have to be in shape to complete 500 laps here. Fact is, a Winston Cup driver has to be in shape to be competitive anywhere. And it's the same for the guys on pit road, and that's where Phil Horton comes in. He's an athletic trainer and pit crew coach that keeps Winston Cup teams physically sharp. Now, Phil is one of the few African Americans you'll see on pit road. But if you talk to Phil about race, the only one he worries about is the one on the track.
1, 2, 3, focus. Good job, y'all. That's a real good job. I've been received really well.
I mean, you really and truly have not had any problems at all inside that garage you're in.
No. I mean, it's the thing that amazed me was, you know, I was in the NBA for 5 years, and when I got the Winston Cup, I mean, I didn't see a difference. I mean, the pro sports is pro sports.
From pit stops to athletic training to weightlifting, Phil Horton is the strength and finesse behind 5 Winston Cup teams.
1-3-1 on the right, 1-4-6 on the left on the rear end. Fundamentals, all that speed.
How was that?
That was a good one.
How much was it?
1361. Finish strong, all you. Good job. Athletics is really defined in a manner of which the body reacts to whatever you're trying to do in competition. So when you talk about the pit crewmen, they're athletes. The hand-eye coordination, the way they hold the tire, the way they run with the jack, their footwork has to be just as precise as any other sport.
So you're a ballet teacher?
Well, I do.
So these guys go around like a ballet, right?
I do a lot of choreographing. That's exactly, that's exactly what it is in a nutshell. But you got to have some talent to do that ballet. Bring it in, guys. On 3, family. 1, 2, 3, family.
Thanks, Jake.
Now that's a lot
Good job,
of work.
y'all.
But quite often in life, it's not the physical pain that hurts the most, it's the emotional pain. Next, Kurt Busch. Where did he come from? A rising star that early in his career was forced to replace a shining star.
Discover Card Countdown to Green, brought to you by Discover Card. It pays to discover. And Wendy's late night pickup window, where you can eat great, even late.
Kurt Busch brings color and confidence to the Winston Cup Series. Interpreting his attitude, well, that's up to you. But the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds may influence your opinion. Kurt won the race here in March. He starts 5th tonight. He has 3 wins this season. He's 9th in the championship standings. But if he could, Kurt Busch would gladly give away his seat to a fellow competitor. But since he cannot, Kurt Busch shares his wins and his respect with a fallen friend.
What's next?
Kurt Busch is just a kid racing in a man's sport. His 9-year career began at age 16 and has been packed with accomplishments.
That was the night I signed in to win my first ever late model race.
Exactly how old were you then?
I don't remember. 97. I was probably 17.
How Kurt got that ride is an emotional story of success and sadness. It starts with Chris Trickle, a popular and promising star racing on the Southwest Tour, the nephew of 2-time ASA champion Dick Trickle, hoping to follow in his uncle's footsteps.
I knew that he had what it would take to be a good race car driver. And he was natural. It was easy for him.
When Chris talked to you, it made it seem like you were the only person in the room.
Late on the night of February 9th, 1997, while driving on the streets in his hometown of Las Vegas, Chris Trickle was shot in the head. He spent months in a coma. His prognosis was not good. His family devoted every waking moment to his recovery. His sponsor, Craig Q, parked his race team. Friends weren't sure how to help.
And I was completely caught by surprise, devastated. I came back to try to see him and see what was going on, saw him down in LA, and was just trying to send my condolences and be with the family.
They were all kind to us. I mean, Kurt respects me. When we talked, he was always polite to me. And everybody, of course, was very sad.
Craig calls me up and says, why don't we run a late model? Oh, okay. I mean, I was struggling in college, didn't know which direction to head, and I jumped in that late model. First night ever, won it.
With Chris still in a coma, the difficult decision was made to put his team back on the track. And another Las Vegas son was asked to take the wheel. That driver was 18-year-old Kurt Busch.
It was something where I almost felt uncomfortable with it and then didn't feel as if I might not have been ready.
For a little while there, it was hit and miss. There was good feelings and bad feelings amongst a lot of people. Kurt was young at the time, and he was at the right place, right time.
I mean, it's not Kurt's fault that he's in the car. I mean, we wouldn't like to see anybody in the car. But if I'd like to see somebody, it'd be Kurt.
It was difficult in many ways to try to understand exactly the loss that had happened and where I'm going to fit in now and what's going to happen with it and will people accept me or not.
Then on March 25th, 1998, 1 year and 44 days after he was shot, Chris Trickle died. His death coming just days before the Southwest Tour race in Las Vegas.
When you got a 200-pound, beautiful young man here that was so healthy, and somebody took his life like this, it hurts. It'll hurt forever.
It was a tough time, and we were going through the funeral. We used the car as part of the funeral. The whole crew was there, and it was a long week. To cap it all off, we ended up winning the race. I mean, it was emotional. I mean, it was huge, just the way that the town embraced the team.
I mean, it was a combination of, what you would think of as being a respectful farewell to Chris Trickle, and us all thinking about him and being mindful, but also the fact that we were really happy and elated that that team was back in winning form.
Chris left it as a competitive team, and that's where it needed to get going.
Kurt Busch carried the cars, the colors, and the caring memories of Chris Trickle to victory lane 6 times en route to the 1999 Series Championship. Now he chases wins and the championship in the Winston Cup Series, where he believes every starting field has a 44th car.
If Chris Trickle were around today, where would he be racing?
Where I would have been, I don't know, but Trickle would have made it right where he needed to go, and that would have been Winston Cup.
And Kurt Busch would be right there next to him. Chris Trickle was 25 years old. His murder has never been solved. His father told me on the phone Friday that under Nevada law, chances of any type of prosecution now are slim. By the way, if you're looking for Chuck Trickle these days, you might look out around the 3/8 of a mile track at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Not up in the stands, down on the track. That's because after 14 of 18 events, Chuck Trickle, at the age of 59, is leading the race for the track championship by 29 points. Chuck drives the Chris Trickle Tribute Chevrolet.
Here comes Gordon, right up against the back bumper. Everybody in the crowd on their feet. Here comes Gordon, right up to the bumper again. The bump and run.
There it is.
Gordon underneath to the lead. In the end of the winless streak. Welcome home.
Thank you.
In the Sharpie will remain Lord from Las Vegas, Nevada.
There you have it, the excitement from last year and the drama for this year already building. Kurt Busch's driver introduction just a few moments ago. Let's get some more pre-race stories. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Ryan Newman, you started on the pole here and called this track evil after March's race. Is there any confidence in the Penske camp that it will not be an evil night tonight?
Well, you can have, I don't think it's an evil track, but you can have an evil night here, no doubt. Attitudes tend to flare up, and hopefully we're not in that camp. It's a tough racetrack, but hopefully it's a good one for the Auto Dodge.
Ryan going for back-to-back wins. Today, Burns.
Marty, last year, Jeff Gordon ended his winless streak at Rusty's expense. Rusty, you're in a bit of a drought yourself. Can you win tonight and break it?
Man, I hope so. That's what I come here for. I got a good car. It ran good in happy hour practice, and every time I come to Bristol, I think I'm going to win. I don't come to this place thinking I'm going to run second. It's been so good to me, and hopefully it's going to be good tonight.
All right, he starts outside, row 10. Matt?
With Spencer out, corporate teammate Ted Musgrave in, you start 7th, same place Jimmy started with in the spring, led 139 laps. How good's the race car?
The race car's pretty decent. Like I say, Tommy Baldwin changed a few things on it, and you know, I think it might be a little bit better. But we're just, like I say, filling in for Jimmy. Hopefully we can keep these point standings going. And you know, like I say, with him being out, Jim Smith from Ultra Motorsports figured he'd put in a second string driver, not swing driver, and see how we do tonight.
Where are you starting?
Starting 7th behind Kurt, so we got a little drama, and I see that Mongo don't have a leash on him tonight, so we're going to find out.
Starting 7th, trying for his first Winston Cup win, Bill.
Thanks, Matt. Matt Kenseth starts 10th tonight in car 17. Only twice in 85 races here at Bristol has the winner come from 10th. The last guy to do it, Darrell Waltrip, 17 years ago tonight, August 23rd, 1986. Now, you don't have to look it up because we already did. The countdown is at 0, and the night race at Bristol is next.
This has been the Discover Card Countdown to Green. Let's go racing.
TNT Sports is live at the Bristol Night Race. 164,000 fans are here for the Sharpie 500. We're glad you saved a seat for us. Let's swing down pit road. Matt.
Bill, point leader Matt Kenseth knows tonight could be one of the biggest bullets left to dodge on the schedule. He's finished 6th, 5th, and 2nd here in the last 3 races, but last night, running in the top 3 in the Busch race, he was knocked out of contention. He knows Bristol could be brutal in the points race. Starting right alongside, though, is the guy 2nd in the points, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Marty?
His championship rival with a car, Matt, that has run 3 straight races here at Bristol. Twice has finished in the top 5. In happy hour yesterday, the car was excellent until the very end when they put a new set of tires on. Now they don't know if it was a set of tires that was bad, but the car was junk. Dave?
Marty, following yesterday's final practice, I talked with Greg Zipadelli, Tony Stewart's crew chief, about the work that they had to do. He said, we've got to do a lot. The car turned better, but we got the rear end a little bit loose. They think they fixed it to the point where Tony can take it to the front from 18th starting spot. Bill?
Thanks, Dave. Elliott Sadler's only Winston Cup win came at this track. Tonight he starts 17th with new crew chief Todd Parrott. The pre-race ceremonies are next.